Thank you so much, Panna, for that wonderful introduction. And welcome all of you, both new and experienced Toastmasters, to this orientation. I hope that at the end of the meeting, we all take back something of value from our own mutual experience of Toastmasters. So I was asked to talk about the history of Toastmasters, about the basics of beginning with Toastmasters, like mentoring, like the Distinguished Club program, like the contests. But before that, let me tell you a very commonly known joke. The Toastmasters is the best kept secret in this world because nobody knows what Toastmasters is, not even the members. Most of the times that is true because they have not attended vOrientation like we have today. But today you will not be going back without the knowledge of what Toastmasters is. I will try to tell you the essence of Toastmasters. I will not go to a lot of technicals because anyway you will lose out on those with time. And you should gain those with time, with context, and with the reference at which they benefit. So instead of telling you that Toastmasters started in 1924 at some basement in California, it doesn't matter. What matters is how I began my journey of Toastmasters. I know a lot of you have begun in the same way. So I went to a Toastmasters meeting when I was in college. My college had a club in 2012. And I went there. I also spoke as a guest on stage. And then I came back. A lot of people gave me good recommendations, but I decided not to join. You know why? Because when I asked my friend who was a Toastmaster, what do I need to do to join? They told me that I had to pay 4,000 rupees to join. And at that, now you may have paid more because at that time the membership was cheaper. But I told them 4,000 rupees just to speak. I can speak for free. Why should I pay so much money for it? And that is the time I wished somebody had told me that it is not just a speaking club. Toastmasters has so much more in value. Toastmasters has leadership program. Toastmasters leadership programs. Toastmasters is a social circle. It's a creative outlet. There are so many facets to Toastmasters. When I joined TCS, I joined Toastmasters because again, I thought it was a better investment because TCS was reimbursing my fees. And then when I joined Toastmasters, I took up so many roles and I became a more experienced speaker, a more established speaker and a leader. It started to impact my personal life, my professional life in many ways. And today I know the value of Toastmasters. Now that is a success story you see in every motivational speech. First I was useless, then I found something, in this case it's Toastmasters, and now I am successful. So you should join Toastmasters. But this is not a sales pitch. So I will not tell you a lie. I will tell you the truth. The Toastmasters will not do anything for you unless you do something for yourself. It's difficult to understand because I don't know what your VP membership told you when they made you a member, that you come here and you'll become Barack Obama within a week or a Martin Luther King Jr. in a month. It could be, I don't know. But to tell you the truth, he was correct in a way. He was correct in a way, and I'm sure that some of you would have been told that that you also need to spend a lot of time and your effort on it. Now, friends, I want to give you a small analogy of a gym. I know that in analogies of a gym coming from me are not appropriate, but that's okay. For the sake of our discussion, let's consider the analogy of a gym. Now imagine you have a gym membership for 6 years, and all those 6 years you never go to the gym. Do you think you will be fitter than you were 6 years ago? Now you can answer on the chat if you want. Why by yes, Y for yes and N for no, if you want to interact. Next question to you is, suppose you go to the gym every day, but you never use any of those machines, you never listen to any of the instructors, and you just go and click selfies. Do you think you will be fitter than you were 6 years ago? I see a lot of N's, and one person wrote N, 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 so 3 times no. I am sure that you are getting the idea now. Toastmasters is in a way similar. Even though it is a transformative experience, their work needs to be put in to get that transformation. Some people would say that if I am doing all the work, then why Toastmasters? I can do it at home as well. Here's the thing, you can exercise at home as well. But why do people go to the gym to exercise? Because they get the equipment, they get the guidance, they get a social circle of other fitness enthusiasts. In Toastmasters, you get the equipment in form of the Pathways program that BTM Shayat will come up with next. You get a social circle of other Toastmasters who are pursuing excellence. You get mentors who are going to be similar to gym instructors. And that is how you take things forward. If I take a chemistry analogy, because chemistry was one of my favorite subjects, you remember in the reaction, there used to be 2 important things to carry out the reaction. One was the reactants, another was the catalyst. Do not think of Toastmasters as the reactants. The reactant is you. And whether you react with the catalyst or not is your choice, but Toastmasters is the catalyst. And I will tell you today on how you can perform different reactions. So the reaction number 1 is come and attend a tabletop, come and attend a Toastmasters session, participate in it by either speaking on a table topic, giving an evaluation, playing a small role. Since you are all new members, you have to start small. I know your VP educations will take you in the right direction. I know many of you as members or as guests have already participated in a table topic and you've seen the transformation that you have seen. It is important to take those in our stride. Reaction number 2 is taking the help of your mentors and of your VP educations, reaching out reactants, and you have to get the reaction happening with the help of the catalyst. In this case, it is your mentors. They are going to help you get better because they have the experience, they have the knowledge, they have treaded the path that you are starting off with. And that is how you begin. And catalyst number 3 is to take part in the initiatives that you want to learn from. Few of the initiatives I can talk about is, one of them was on the agenda. If you're wondering what contests are a huge, huge opportunity to learn many skills and not just speaking skills. Few of you may know, but let me tell you, there are 4 forms of contests that happen in our district, District 41. This year, what will happen, we may have 3, we may have 4, the news will be out very shortly, within a day or 2. But there are 4 forms predominantly. First is the humorous speech contest, where we learn how to connect with the audience emotionally through humor. Understand, it is not just about making people laugh. It is about learning how to create a connection. Second is a table topics contest. You already may have spoken about table topics or have seen table topics. It is the art of practicing impromptu speaking. Third is the evaluation contest, where you learn the art of giving effective feedback. And finally, the daddy of all contests in Toastmasters, the international speech contest. It is not a contest where you have to give speeches about other countries. It is not about that. It is about a contest that helps you speak to an international audience if you are capable enough. That contest has 6 levels, starting from the club level, area level, division level, district level, the world semifinals, and finally the world finals, where more than 2,000 people give you 7 minutes of their time of their lives to listen to the message that you are about to deliver. But why participate in those contests? What is in it for you? Friends, if you have run a marathon, you will know the benefit of running a marathon is not for someone else. Even if you come 500th among 3,000 people or among 600 people, does not matter. It matters to you that you took the journey to prepare for the marathon, and you are today fitter because you took the stride, the first step to participating in a marathon. Contests are somewhat similar. Contests start at the club level. Very soon you will be starting off with the club level contests of each and every club. And we'll start with the humorous and evaluation contests if they happen, if the humorous happens. But we will start with that. And there, the VP educations and the club presidents will encourage you to take a jab at it, to give it a try, because if you don't try, you won't gain. When you go through the club level, you reach the area level where the winners reach the area level, and then the winners from the area level reach the division level, where you speak to almost 100 people at once. From the division level, you get to the district level, where you speak to about 300 people at once. Humorous speech contests, evaluation contests, and table topics contests are limited to the district. But again, like I said, the international speech contest goes to the world finals. Why try, you would think? Why take the attempt? Because you would see in the poster that I gave that the master has failed more times than the apprentice has ever tried. And that is a very favorite quote of mine. The trying and trying and trying is what gets you to success. Today, I would like you to understand that all the aspects of Toastmasters, everything there is that I'm going to talk about and everyone else is also going to talk about, are only multipliers to your own efforts. If you don't take the effort, then it's very difficult to get value out of Toastmasters. Now, I have a small question to all of you that I asked our tech master, and she generously helped us get that in the form of a Zoom poll. So Mridula, if you're there, I would request you to please launch a poll, a very simple question to all the Toastmasters here for their response. So the question is, which speaking skill do you want to learn first? Very basic speaking skills: inspiration, persuasion, negotiation, or compassion. You can start giving responses to it, and maybe at the end of 30 seconds, we can close the poll, or maybe when we have a majority of the votes of people in this room. So I leave the decision to you, Mridula, but please read very carefully. Which skill do you want to develop first in your journey of Toastmasters? We will be closing the poll soon, so please vote. Let us wait 10-15 more seconds, and then we can close the poll. Think about it very carefully. What is the most important skill of yours that you want to learn? So if we have had the majority of people voting, Mridula, can you please close the poll and publish the results to everyone? There's an option to publish it to everyone so that everyone can see. As you can see, as I expected, everyone wants to be an inspirational speaker. Inspiration is at the top. Then comes persuasion, then compassion, or compassion and persuasion are very close to each other. And finally comes negotiation. But friends, today I will tell you again, I will dispel a myth for you. We all look to be inspirational speakers because those are the speakers we see. We see Dhananjay Hetirachi as one of the champion speakers who gave a world final speech. We see maybe Sandeep Maheshwari, who is again an inspirational speaker. We see so many other politicians who inspire us, change our lives. So many actors give inspirational movies, and we want a stadium full of people with whom we can share our life stories. But those are only a few of the people you see. Most of the successful speakers who have mastered the art of communication never get up on a stadium and share their life stories. They transform people's lives one by one, every day, little by little. And I would not have been able to give you this incident if I had not had 4 conversations since my morning. So in the morning, one of the area directors of another district, she called me up in distress and told me that there was lots of work she was getting and she was not able to manage her work. There was many responsibilities she wanted to take up, but again, she did not have the time. She was about to quit Toastmasters because of that extra burden, because she was not able to balance work and Toastmasters. At that point, I knew what the problem she had, because I had the exact same problem when I was an area director. I told her that I relate to you, and I gave her a few tips on how to delegate, how to prioritize, how to negotiate with others. And most importantly, I told her that she's not alone. She can reach out to me or other people whenever she needs to. The skill of compassion, even though I did not inspire her, made her life better. An hour later, I got a call from my manager asking me to delegate some of the work to one of my subordinates and change the course or the direction of his work. And I could have said yes, and if I were not in Toastmasters, I probably would have. But during that 1 hour conversation, I was able to speak to him and help him understand, negotiate with him the next plan for the future by telling him what is the best course. And he finally agreed with my philosophy, and we did not have to change anything. The art of negotiation on that day saved the direction and a lot of repetition of work for me. An hour later, one of the speakers today called me with a concern that today, the way the agenda is designed, we may not have time to cover everything and do justice to this program. Around that time, we had to think critically and work out together, and I had to use the powers of persuasion I learned in Toastmasters to help both of us take the right direction. And because I had those 3 conversations today, I am having the 4th one with you today, which is an inspirational conversation. So the conversation at the end of the road is an inspirational one, but throughout the road, you need to learn these basic skills and change many lives before you reach that stadium full of people. I wish that you do. I wish that all of you become world champions, but don't keep it as an end goal to be great speakers, to just stand there and deliver your life story, but rather help people live their life stories in a better way. And ultimately, I want to talk about DCP, the Distinguished Club Program, but I will talk about it in a different color. If you don't remember anything else from this talk, it is fine. But remember one thing, that in Toastmasters, we all work together, help each other be successful to reach a common goal. And that goal sometimes could be a club goal, it could be an area goal, it could be your own personal goal that others will help you achieve. Distinguished Club Program is one of those goals that help you accelerate your own journeys. And let me tell you how. If you want to learn the art of persuasion, you need to learn the art of presentation. You can take one of the goals in DCP, that is how to persuade or communicate the idea of Toastmasters to new members so that they can become part of Toastmasters. That is part of one of the goals. If you want to learn the art of articulation, there is a goal in Distinguished Club Program where you have to complete a few levels and reach it. That is how you learn the art of articulation. Your VP Education, your Vice President Public Relations, your Vice President Membership, all those people know about this. If you want to learn the art of leadership in form of an executive committee role or in form of taking records and administrative protocols, that is where DCP goals 9 and 10, the administrative goals, come in. Friends, ultimately, I want to tell you that Toastmasters is not just a speaking club. It is a many-faceted experience. You can attempt giving speeches, you can mentor people, you can evaluate people, you can learn the art of objectivity by judging a contest. If you want to grow better in organization, start off with small organizing, a club contest, If you are a little more advanced, maybe you're in Toastmasters, consider chairing an area contest. Consider being a chief judge if you feel that you have learned enough from judging. Consider running a membership campaign if you want to lead a persuasive campaign. There are so many things just in the club level. Going forward, there are so many things beyond the club level. Toastmaster Seema is one of the area directors. I am a division director. You don't need to know what a division director does, but rather I just told you 4 very tough conversations I had to have in one day. And I'm having such conversations every single day because I am at the role of a division director. And ultimately, if you don't want to be overwhelmed by all the things I told you, scrap all of those, take them out of your mind and start very small, which is by delivering a tabletop work. And that is where it all begins, my friends. Now I am done. We have a few minutes, I hope, to take a few questions. You can either unmute yourself or you can post your questions on chat. We'll take a few minutes till the red card is up and we can take more questions offline. So please, everyone is welcome. You know, if you don't ask questions, I will ask you questions, or your area director will take some checks from you to understand what you understood. Because again, you never know what is in Toastmasters.
Rudradev, there is a question in the chat box about how to start.
Oh, thank you so much for this question. So I just said at the end, if you are very apprehensive of what to do, reach out to your mentors. Start doing basic roles like the R counter, the timer, the table topics master, or even start speaking on the table topics. Do a grammarian's role. That is how you can start. And slowly understanding your potential and your level in life as in speaking, as a speaker, as a leader, your club officers will help you go to the next step. So the start is come to a meeting, show up, and express your interest for roles. That is where to start. Thank you. What is ice breaking? So ice breaking is about giving your first speech in pathways. That is about introducing yourself. So your mentor will be able to guide you through the journey of icebreaker. But the first initiative you need to do is open the project in pathways that your VP education or your mentor can show you. Go through the material, take the assessment, go through the material, and try and know how to construct that speech, because 90% of the material is already there. Thank you. One more question I have is how to find the right mentor within Toastmasters community. Who should be a mentor? First and foremost, anybody can be a mentor for somebody who is starting new. Only thing you need to see is reachability and your communication with them. So are you able to communicate freely with them? Are they reachable enough to answer your basic questions? Because till the end of level 1, which I feel is 1.5 months, anybody in Toastmasters who's been there for 6 months can guide you in the best way possible. You don't need a world champion to guide you when you're starting off. Next question is, why do we have to give icebreaker on each pathway? That's a very interesting question. It is because even when exercising, you don't do one exercise once and then leave it. Sometimes when you come back to a project, after giving an entire pathway, you gain new perspective. So when I gave my icebreaker after becoming a distinguished Toastmaster, that is after 40 speeches, I got so much on how to introduce myself. And I gave it as an expert, not as a novice. That made a lot of difference. Next question is, what is more important, listening more or speaking more? So there is a very good quote that DTM Deepak Menon, our international president, told me once, is that in a meeting, in a Toastmasters meeting, we speak for probably 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but we listen for the rest 80 minutes. So we should be practicing the art of listening 8 times more than the art of speaking. Because if you listen effectively, one word you utter can have more impact than 100 words uttered by somebody who has not listened at all. So please, even though they do not get the limelight, the listening roles, the evaluators, the accountants, the timers, they gain so much from playing those roles that is evident only when you spend some time in Toastmasters. Next question is, Can we change mentors in the middle? Of course, if it is not working out, consult your VP education and definitely speak to the mentor. We are all here to help each other, and if it is not working out, your mentor will understand and you will understand, and things can be worked out that way. And last question I will take is, do we ever have a chance to speak on a particular topic for longer, even in the Toastmasters Gym? Yeah, of course, your second speech, the evaluation and feedback, is open to any topic you want to speak on. That is about whatever you want to speak on for 5 to 7 minutes. For longer durations, you have to be proficient enough to deliver a keynote, which takes a little time. Constructing a 30-minute speech is a little challenge for some people. Now, thank you. I hope that you all continue your journey in Toastmasters. That is our only objective today, that you do not quit Toastmasters before Toastmasters start returning value to you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Bye now.